This is the smallest RTX graphics card that I've ever held. This thing is insane. In today's video, we're going to build a mini AI rig with this micro PC here. But you want to know the best part? We're going to earn crypto. So this is something that you guys can do with any kind of hardware sitting around, new or older. There are some exceptions that'll kind of come into play based off of like profitability and what you'll make per day based off of how old and new it is. But I encourage you guys to test the waters and try this out at home with the hardware that you have first. And I cannot believe how small this is. Guys, this is a Gigabyte RTX 4060 OC edition, and this is their low profile model. And this is wild how small this is. And to give you guys some kind of perspective, this here is an EVGA for the Win 3 RTX 3090, one of my favorites out there, the RGB one. This is the size of the 4060. So this is actually a rig that we had sitting around, this rig here, that we didn't have actually being used. It was supposed to be used for one project, never ended up happening. So here we are, repurposing some hardware that we have. And if you guys saw in previous videos, we talked about, we're gonna go ahead and pair this here. And this does actually, we decided to upgrade to a 2 terabyte NVMe, and we are upgrading to 64 gigabytes of memory. So I am replacing the memory and also the solid state drive here to give us a little more horsepower behind this, but you could get by with what we have in here if you were interested, but I decided to splurge a little bit and get some a little bit beefier hardware. All right, and then finally, for our CPU, we have a Ryzen 5 5600. It's about a 6-core processor in this, so not a bad setup, to be honest with you. This could easily be used for a home small little gaming setup. But anyways, let me go ahead and get this flipped over, get all of our hardware installed real quick, and then we're gonna dive in to installing Clore.AI. All right, hobbyist miner here from the future as I'm going through and editing this. And I want to explain a little bit more about Clore.AI. Clore.AI is a GPU rental platform where we, as tinkerers, GPU miners, those within the technology space, can take your hardware and put it up for rental. And it can be used for a variety of different things. It could be used for mining. It could be used for AI compute or for any other development projects. So if you guys are interested, I will leave all links down below to learn more about Clore.AI. And I do want to preface this. This is not going to make me rich off of one PC that I put together with some of the hardware I have sitting around here. Sometimes if you really want to get into this and go really crazy, it can be a massive investment and it could pay off. But for today, I'm tinkering and learning as we go. All right, back to the video. So, all right, here we have it. Uninstalled the old memory here, giving us, what did this give us here? Total 16 gigabytes of memory, upgraded it to this Viper memory up to 64 gigabytes, which is awesome. We did uninstall, this is a 256 NVMe, and we are gonna put the 2 terabyte one in, and I do have, and I bought this a while ago, I've been using it. This is an M.2 enclosure. So we'll actually install this into the enclosure and then plug it into our computer to go ahead and flash this. We are gonna be running HIVEOS. So those of you guys that are GPU miners that follow the channel, you're super familiar with HIVEOS. That's the operating system that this will run off of. Super lightweight, easy to use. GPU miners, you guys know this super, super well. So let me go ahead and get HIVEOS installed on here. If you guys are like, I don't even know what HIVEOS is, I don't know how to install it, guys, check directly down below. I'm gonna put a video there, step-by-step guide, walks your hands through it. After you've done it once, it's super easy. And I'll check you back over on the computer. All right, guys, check it out. We have our 2 terabyte drive installed, ready to go, and it went ahead and booted into HIVEOS. And now we're ready to go for the next steps. Let's jump over to that computer. Thank you to today's video sponsor, ASICmarketplace.com. If you're in the market for the top ASIC miners, look no further than ASICmarketplace.com. They have some of the best miners on the market in 2025. To name just a few, Bitmain Antminer L9 and L7, the AlphaPex DG1+, the Canon Avalon A15 XP, and many more. And oh, home miners, ASICmarketplace.com has you covered as well. The Alphapex DG Home 1, the Bombax EZ100C, the Ice River AL2 Lite, and many more. Finally, 3 big reasons I like ASICmarketplace.com. First, the price on their website is to your door. Shipping and import tax is included in the price. Second, they accept cryptocurrency as a payment method. And third, I've been working with them for over 2 years and never had a bad experience buying from ASICmarketplace.com. Go check out ASICmarketplace.com today and use my discount code to save $100 at checkout. All right, so let's dive in. So we just finished installing HiveOS. We logged into our HiveOS account, and here is our rig. And if you're confused how we got to this, please go watch the step-by-step tutorial. I'll link it down below on how to install HiveOS step by step, because that's a whole nother video just to learn how to do this. Once you've done it once though, you'll be able to do this time and time again. So now that we're loaded up here, our first step we want to do is get everything up to date. So we want to get Hive up to date, and we also want to go ahead and get our drivers up to date for NVIDIA. If you guys are curious, you can see all your specs directly down below here. So let's take a look at a few things. So shows us our motherboard here. If you're curious, that's a little A520i gigabyte motherboard. We also have here our CPU, which is that Ryzen 5 5600 6-core processor. Shows our NVMe, which is great. And it shows we have 1.8 terabytes free of space. So first thing we're going to do is come up here to upgrade. And we're going to upgrade to the latest version of Hive. So we're going to check off both of these and hit upgrade. And I'll see you guys on the other side. All right, so our rig is back up. You can see there's no longer an option to update because we're on the latest version. So next thing we want to do is upgrade our drivers. Now, right now you can see in the upper right-hand corner, it does have N, it says 550.142. And I know there's a even later version. I think we're up to 570 or higher. Also shows it down here. So most of our setup is going to actually be done up here under remote access and Hive shell start. So you go ahead and click that. And once this finishes loading up top here, we'll go ahead and select it. All right, we're in the Hive shell here, and there is a very easy guide that's out there from actual Clore that walks you through this step by step. Feel free to follow along like what we're doing right now. So we don't need to do the Hive replace because this is a brand new rig. So we're good to go there. We also don't have any issues with it only showing a much smaller disk. We saw 1.8 terabytes free and available. So jumping down here, I'm actually going to skip step 5 just for this second. I want to jump to step 6 and I want to update the drivers first. So we're just going to go ahead and hit copy here, and they've made this guide real easy. And we're going to right click and go to paste from browser, and we're going to paste this directly in here. There we go. So we don't have to type anything out, and we'll hit enter. And this is going to go through and update us to the latest NVIDIA driver, and we'll be back in just a minute. All right, so drivers updated. What's next? So let's jump over to our steps here, and we're going to come back here, select this step. We're going to do one at a time, jump over. We're going to right click, paste from browser, and paste that in and hit OK. And now we'll just hit enter. This is going to go through and update this, and it shouldn't take super long. Bam, look at that. That finished quick. All right, so let's jump back over. We need to do apt update. So we're going to copy that, right click, paste, put that in, enter. That's going to go ahead. Look at that. That's done quick too. Awesome. So now we'll go to the third one, which is an upgrade. We're going to paste that in here. And it's going to ask, do we want to confirm? We're just going to do a capital Y. There we go. And while that's doing that, let's go ahead and get our last one here, which is an auto remove. Let's paste that in, hit enter. Perfect. Okay, so that's done. So then jumping back here, we already did drivers. It recommends that we reboot. So let's go back to the rig, and we're going to come up here to the top, power actions, and reboot. All right, so our reboot finished, and we jump on here to switch to super user mode. We're going to do this sudo.i here. I'm going to copy that, come over here, paste it in. That's going to go ahead and bump us up. There we go. Perfect. Now we need to install the software. So we're going to use this bash command here. We're going to go ahead and hit copy, and it says if the system reports a git is missing, we have a command to fix it. So hopefully we don't have to do any of that. Let's paste in the bash command and hit enter. All right, so we got some errors here with the package and Docker information. Actually, when I go back over to that guide, it shows it right here. So it actually says if the system gets that, you can run this, then retry the installation. If you encounter this GPG error, it gives us this option here to do. So let's go ahead and do that here. So I didn't see here's the GPG that I'm seeing. I'm not seeing the get. So we're going to do the GPG fix here, which is this copy here. And let's go back up. We're going to paste that in. It's kind of nice to have that in the guide. We'll hit enter. All right, and now it has us running that bash command again. So we'll go ahead and do that. All right, so now that that's done, before we move on to this next step, activate the server, we have to do a few things first. So this is actually for Clore.AI. You can jump over here. I'll put a link to this directly down below. We need to create a new account. I've never created an account before. I've never used Clore before. This is my first time, just like you guys. So come over here, create an account, and I'll see you guys on the other side. All right, our account has been made and we've logged in. That's as far as I've got. I've done nothing else. So our next step is to come down to my servers on the left-hand side and do add server there. And we're just going to call this, same thing I called it in Hive, 4060 mini underscore Clore.AI. Just make it match. We'll hit next here. And it'll go ahead and create it, and it says not rented, of course, and it's red. Well, that makes a lot of sense. We haven't connected the rig actually with anything. So there's this arrow here on the right. Click on that, and it's going to give you your token. So we're going to go ahead and keep that in mind. We'll copy it here in just a minute. So our next step here is 10 is we need to take this command here, copy it. We have Notepad. So we're going to copy that command. We're going to paste it in here and delete that. Let's grab our token, copy, and we're going to paste it in there. So there is the space between the N in token and the beginning of our token there. All right, so let's go ahead and copy our command directly out of Notepad here. And let's jump back over to Shell. We're going to right click and go to paste, paste that in and hit enter. All right, it looks like it's working. Let's give it a few minutes. So it looks like it's working, and it looks like it ran a benchmark here against the actual drive is what I'm seeing. And it does show look at that, shows our motherboard, our CPU. It also shows the amount of memory, just kind of reading across here, disk speeds, our RTX 4060, and our download and upload speeds here, which is great. It says server successfully logged in. All right, so the next step tells us to go ahead and reboot the rig. And then check back over on our actual dashboard there. So let's go ahead and reboot this here, and I'll see you guys on the Clore.AI dashboard. All right, so our rig rebooted. Let's jump over to the Clore.AI dashboard under my servers again and take a look. We have a green little circle, which is perfect. It means our rig has connected with the Clore.AI marketplace. We're going to select the arrow on the right-hand side because it isn't set up entirely yet for rentals. It's not available. First thing we want to look at is maximum rental length. It's set to 700 or 72 hours max. We're going to change this here to 730 is what we'll change it to. So that's about 1 month, give or take. Now, live USD based pricing. Price in Clore updates in real time based off USD value. So we're going to select that. And we have two options here that we can go ahead and select. You have your on-demand pricing, or you have your minimal spot pricing. And so this is where you're going to go ahead and have the opportunity to go ahead and select, okay, what do I want to put this at? Where do I want to come in at? Now, I'm not too sure yet, on what this will do. So let's go over to Clore.ai. This is the marketplace here, just Clore.ai / marketplace. And we're going to go to show rented on the left. And under GPUs, we're going to select the plus and go down to 460. All right. And now what I want to look at here is there's 1, 2, 3, 4 total rigs listed out there. Some of them are rented right now under spot market, and one is not. And now this is 4. This has 4 4060s there. So we're pretty much going to cut this in half. So this is saying like, okay, we could rent for like $1. Now this is in USD. Yeah. So $1.50 a day if we wanted to. And it has a max length here, 29 days, 5 days, 50 days, and 5 days. So ours is pretty good. You know, this does have a Threadripper on it, which is pretty badass, to be honest with you. 64 gigabytes of memory, some good internet speeds here. So this is a pretty decent one. So I'm going to aim high and go with like half of this. So I'm going to say 150 is what we're going to go for. So is it going to make us rich? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. However, I do think, you know, let's test the waters here and see how this goes. So this rig could make $1.50 in Clore per day, give or take, if we're interested. Now, other than that, the only other thing we need to do here is we click this up here and available for rent. So we're going to select that there. So available for rent, 730 hours total at $1.50 a day. Now, I'm testing the waters with this. If this goes well, I plan to build something pretty badass for Clore, but we'll have to see. So let's hit apply and let's see what happens. All right, so it's only been a few minutes, and what I did was I actually came down, and under minimum reliability, it was up here at like 80 or something crazy high. I turned this down to 0, and look at all these other rigs out there. So there's a ton more people out here with terrible reliability scores, and it actually makes me feel pretty good about like my 150 when this guy's reliability is 24%. Like that's garbage, absolutely garbage. But there's a number of ones out there, but here's what I want to look at. I did find my rig here. At least I did a minute ago. Let's see if we can find it again here. All right, so right here at the bottom, here it is. Look, here's our $1.50 a day. Our internet speeds right now, 400. I imagine with the benchmark that'll go up because we're about 1 gig, which is great. Yep, look, there's our disk. There's that Patriot 2 terabyte. Here's our 64 gigabytes of memory. Here's that Ryzen 5 5600 and our 4060 with the 7 gigabytes VRAM. So we have everything set right here and ready to go. It's available to be rented, and it's ready to go at this point in time. So as of right now, I really don't know how this is going to go, but I love this stuff. I love tinkering. I love playing with new hardware, with new platforms, and I'm very, very excited to see where this goes. All right, so here we have it, my RTX 4060 Clore.AI rig. Guys, I'm super excited for this. Do I think I'm going to get rich from this? Am I going to make a boatload of money from this little mini rig? No, absolutely not. This was a rig I had sitting around, spent a little bit of money for the upgraded NVMe and the memory, and off we go. This is something I found with these AI GPU rental rigs where you need to go ahead and just set it and forget it. Leave it on the platform and let it go from there. You have no clue what the demand is going to look like next week, next month, 3-6 months from now. I do not recommend that you guys jump around from platform to platform trying to chase profitability, because reliability is key when you're looking at these AI rig rentals. Guys, love to hear from you guys. Do you guys have any GPUs on AI rig rentals? What platforms? How is it going for you? Which one has been your greatest success? Did you get in super early? What GPUs are you running? I would love to hear from you guys. All right, I'm gonna power this down, take this out to my shed and get this plugged in and set it and forget it. Guys, if you want a list of any of this stuff that I use directly down below, any links to any of the guides or anything, check directly down below. I'm gonna leave them down there for you guys, especially for HIVEOS. Enjoy the guides, guys. Love to hear from you guys in the comments. I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Hey everyone, quick announcement that I'm pumped to share with you. I've officially teamed up with the Mining Disrupt crew to help spread the word about one of the biggest crypto mining events of the year. Mining Disrupt 2025 is coming up fast, and this time it's happening in Dallas, Texas. I've personally attended the last 3 years, and I can tell you from experience, if you're serious about mining, this event delivers. Whether you're a home miner just getting started, managing a mid-sized farm, or running a full-scale hosting operation, Mining Disrupt brings the community together under one roof. Expect major hardware launches, inspiring talks from industry leaders, opportunities to meet fellow miners, connect with content creators, and brand new this year, a mining farm tour. Tickets are available right now, and use the code HOBBYISTMINER at checkout for 20% off. Just click the link in the video description or scan the QR code on the screen right now. Listen, I'll be there and I'd love to see you too. Let's make it a week to remember. Mining Disrupt 2025. Here we come.